Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sending out a lot of love. This is GameSpot's 33 most anticipated PC games for 2022 and beyond, as requested. So, quickly, let's get this out of the way. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit me on my Twitter, hit me on my Instagram, or hit me in the comments if you have any videos you want me to react to. And let's just hop right in and waste no more time. All right.
The new generation of console.
Let's say sending out a lot of love. Sending out a lot of love, and it's the new year. Oh, Lucy Jane.
PC remains its own unique gaming platform that can provide experiences you might not be able to find on other systems, while also offering a place to play multi-platform games at their best. PC's seemingly infinite backlog of games makes it
I might put this on 1.25. I usually watch videos faster, so
beast of a platform.
Depends on the video, but
so here are the biggest PC games to look forward to in 2022 and beyond. Rocksteady helped create one of the all-time great superhero franchises with Batman Arkham Asylum and its sequels, and now it's returning to the world with a take on the anti-hero troop Suicide Squad with Kill the Justice League. The game centers around the four title characters Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and King Shark, all taking on brainwashed superheroes like Superman and the Flash. It's set in the same universe as the Arkham games, but takes place in Metropolis instead, so we'll get a very different view of the world Rocksteady created.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that one looks, oh my gosh, I almost started speaking on two speed. I was about to go, yeah, not gonna lie, but yeah, not gonna lie, I'll probably have most, maybe not most of these games, but maybe, you never know. I have like 700 videos, but I did a reaction to them. I'm watching this for just basically the ones that saying which ones I'm particularly excited for. What I'll say about that one is that one definitely looks fun, but I don't know if it's gonna be for me. But it definitely looks like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Ghostwire Tokyo is a bit different from what we've come to expect from developer Shinji Mikami and Tango Gameworks. After two entries in The Evil Within, it seems the studio is still going for a supernatural concept, but now in a first-person game with a more stylized action focus. Spirits haunt Tokyo, and you'll have to fight them with what's described as karate meets magic. Similar to Diablo IV,
what is that? What is this called?
Person game for a super entries in The Evil Shinji Mikami and Tango Gameworks. After two entries in The Evil Within, it seems the studio is still going for a supernatural concept, but now in a first-person game with a more stylized action focus.
I'm gonna let the video play.
Tokyo, and you'll have to fight them with what's described as karate meets magic.
I'll find these after.
Similar to Diablo IV, Blizzard's anticipated sequel to Overwatch comes amid some tumult at the studio. Various studio leads and developers have been exiting Blizzard, including Overwatch head Jeff Kaplan, and the studio has been rocked by allegations of a toxic culture. Meanwhile, updates to the original Overwatch have essentially stalled as the studio puts all its efforts toward Overwatch 2, but it was pushed out of the 2022 fiscal year like Diablo. That means we may not get to play it until April 2023 at the earliest, but in this case, we at least know we'll see it before then. The Overwatch League, the official esports league based around the game, will start using Overwatch 2 in its competitions starting in spring 2022. After reaching the apex of silliness in the original Saints Row series, Volition is hitting the reset button for its next open-world crime game. This time, your gang of young wannabe thugs occupy the city of Santo Ileso, looking to make a name for themselves in the criminal underworld. As always, you'll be the boss, the create-your-own-crime lord that oversees a cast of wild characters. After originally targeting a February release, it was pushed back to August 23rd, 2022.
Absolutely ready for this one.
It seems Dying Light 2 has been in conversations about anticipated games each year since its reveal at E3 2018. And after repeated delays, here we are again. While it's still intended to bring that first-person action and parkour experience from the previous game, Dying Light 2 is also said to have a bigger narrative focus that will dynamically impact the state of the game's world and cast of supporting characters. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time first came out in 2003 and turned the series into a 3D action platformer.
Okay.
In a way, it also established the framework for parkour gameplay elements we've seen throughout Ubisoft's games since then.
Prince of Persia was good, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed Prince of Persia a lot.
After 4 years of post-launch support for Diablo 3, Blizzard is finally putting out a proper sequel with Diablo 4, but it's been a long time coming and it may be longer still. The studio, known for its polish it until it's perfect approach, has hesitated to put a date on Diablo 4, and so far has only shown off small snippets of the development process as it keeps fans informed of its progress. Now the studio is dealing with ongoing legal action that has led to some creative departures, which could impact development still. Previously planned for 2022, it has been pushed back, meaning we won't see it until at least April 2023. That's still a long time to wait, but we could also at least start to see more of the game shaping up as we get closer to its release.
That is long.
All we know about the Elder Scrolls 6 is that it's real and that it's being worked on. We got a short teaser trailer.
Everybody watching this right now. I don't even have to say the feelings, right? When we hear about Elder Scrolls 6.
With the title, and that's pretty much it. Here we are, patiently waiting. Maybe we'll get another Skyrim remaster for next-gen consoles and PC in the meantime.
She's funny for that.
Announced at the Game Awards 2020, the upcoming entry in the fan-favorite series still seems to be early in development, with BioWare once again at the helm. With only a teaser to go by, very little is known about the game. Many speculate that it may more directly tie into the original trilogy than continue from where Mass Effect Andromeda left off. No release date has been confirmed, but if it's anything like the Dragon Age game in development, then it's still likely a while out. The LEGO Star Wars games always seem to hit a nice spot of lighthearted fun while retelling the events of the Star Wars universe. However, the Skywalker saga will capture the events from all 9 mainline movies, which seems wildly ambitious, especially because this isn't a remaster of the previous LEGO Star Wars games that covered episodes 1 through 6. It's set to launch in spring 2021 on all major platforms.
Okay.
One of the big hitters in development
Starfield.
at Bethesda is Starfield, which seems to be a sci-fi space-themed take on the studio's RPGs. Not much, if anything, is known about Starfield gameplay-wise, other than it's said to have a major game engine overhaul. Todd Howard has spoken about it in vague terms too, and mentioned that we will see it before we see the
said I never
6.
played Starfield. Of course I
After
never
proving
played it
its
because
RPG
it never
mettle
came
with
out.
the Divinity Original Sin games, Larian Studios is making a true and proper sequel to the series that inspired it. Baldur's Gate 3 takes notes from both the classic Baldur's Gate games and the Divinity franchise. An early access version was released in 2020, and despite some rough spots, it showed a great deal of promise. It's currently slated for a full release in 2022.
I definitely plan to play Baldur's Gate.
Obsidian Entertainment has up its sleeve is Avowed, and it's intriguing considering the studio's track record, including Fallout New Vegas and The Outer Worlds. Avowed looks to be the first big RPG from Obsidian under the Xbox Game Studios umbrella, but all we know so far comes from the short teaser trailer shown off during the Xbox Showcase from July 2020, which revealed it as a new first-person fantasy RPG set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. Folks keep asking, where is Elden?
I saw that trailer and was still like, where is it? Where is this game? Where? I need it. I need it in my life, and now Elden Ring.
But nobody stops to ask, how is Elden Ring? Hi From Software, may we please get a crumb of the Ring of Eld? If you don't know, Elden Ring is the upcoming action RPG from the Soulsborne creators, but it's set in an original fantasy world co-created by A Song of Ice and Fire author George R.R. Martin. Now we finally got our hands on Elden Ring, which has made the wait for February 25th, 2022 even harder. One of the most revered first-person shooters of all time is getting a remake in 2022. System Shock was a major inspiration for later hits like BioShock, and after a successful Kickstarter campaign, Night Dive Studios is bringing it back. What originally began as a remaster has morphed into a full-on reboot.
Ooh, the animations and stuff look weird.
In 2020, and now the wait is on for more details.
Like, it looks so good, it's weird.
Troubles related to the pandemic and other factors, but the game is set to be coming in 2022.
Hey.
At this point, Star Citizen is most famous for raising an incredible amount of money. After ending its Kickstarter campaign in 2012, developer Cloud Imperium continued raising money through crowdfunding and releasing purchasable modules that are said to eventually be operable within the game itself. Currently, it looks like they've raised around $400 million, with no official release date for the final product. Although some playable slices have been available, the uncertainty around the release has made it a hotbed of controversy. It's most certainly not coming in 2022, but as an ongoing project that could make a big splash when or if it materializes, lots of people are looking forward to their virtual voyage among the stars. There is very little we know about the new Fable right now, but at least we know it's real. Its reveal concluded the Xbox Showcase back in July 2020 and confirmed that developer Playground Games is behind the project. Fable is an RPG series known for its take on choice and consequence, and how they affect the way your character looks, grows, and is perceived in the game world. It's exciting to think about what Fable could be in this new generation.
True.
Forspoken, or...
Forspoken. Okay, see, going from Fable into Forspoken is really good. Never mind.
As it was previously known as Project Athia, is a new fantasy action game from Square Enix with a fish-out-of-water story at its core. A regular girl from our world is pulled into a fantastical setting complete with dragons, and in doing so she gains her own supernatural abilities to ward off evil. Vampire the Masquerade
I'm ready for
Bloodlines 2 is such a
Forspoken.
fascinating concept considering the cult status of the original games from between 2000 and 2004.
Oh, damn,
It's a
this
first-person
goes
RPG
back.
set in the same World of Darkness universe as its tabletop RPG source material, but in a modern-day Seattle, and it looks to build on what the Bloodlines did in 2004.
Okay.
Everwild is a brand new IP from Rare, and it looks
Elderwild.
to be an adventurous game set in an expansive outdoors with a stunning art style. While we don't know exactly what to expect from Everwild, it seems like a marriage between the natural and supernatural world, with interactions revolving around wildlife and your party of 4, which is teased in its reveal trailer.
Okay.
Who's going to
Cute
protect
little
Gotham
game.
City without Batman around? Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and
Oh,
Robin,
yeah.
of course.
Yep.
And in an
I was
open-world
just talking
action
about this
RPG
one.
called Gotham Knights, no less. The game can be played solo or in 2-player co-op, with what's said to be a seamless drop-in and out system. The story will be separate from the existing Batman Arkham series though. Gotham Knights' main story will be about the rise of the Bat family following Batman's apparent death, and their conflict with the Gotham City Rogues Gallery, which includes the infamous Court of Owls.
Court of Owls, yep.
Scorn is an Xbox Series X and S and PC exclusive and looks like a grotesque horror first-person shooter. We got to see some gameplay, and its environments are a mix of gothic structures inside of a monster's body with mutant flesh hanging on the walls and creatures used as tools for environmental puzzles.
I have to go check out some of
Huge
these
HR
trailers
Giga vibes.
alone.
Kerbal Space Program was memorable for its complex physics that
I
helped show a
always seen
whole
this
new
and
generation
never,
how going
absolutely
into
never
space is
played
actually
this.
really extremely hard. Countless Kerbals have been lost in the attempt to construct a perfect rocket, and the sequel looks to be even more ambitious with a focus on interstellar travel. You'll be able to cross galaxies, make colonies, and play with fellow Kerbal enthusiasts in multiplayer.
Okay.
I'm not sure who wanted a Lord of the Rings game starring Gollum, but we'll give it a chance, of course. If you
Only
check the Steam
Gollum?
page, the release date is marked as lurking until the time is right. We respect that. Blackbird Interactive and Gearbox Publishing are partnering for a third installment in this decades-old series. This revival of the Homeworld franchise is markedly more connected to fan feedback than most. As a crowd-funded campaign, the studio invited surveys from backers on what elements or aspects of the original Homeworld games were most important to them.
I've seen this,
the project
but didn't
includes
know
key
anything
personnel
about it.
from the original development studio, as well as leadership from the Gearbox-published Homeworld, Desert of Karak. It's due out in late 2022.
Okay.
Rainbow Six Siege has become a successful live service and esport game for Ubisoft, but this PvE
Extraction.
spin-off takes a different approach.
Let's
Instead of
go,
competing
guys.
with other players to control the
Extraction.
environment, the co-op game has you team up with other Rainbow operators to take down parasitic alien monsters. First
Yep.
revealed in 2019, this one has been pushed back a few times, perhaps in part to avoid the unfortunately timed associations of its original name, Quarantine, with the global coronavirus pandemic. It appears to be back on track now and aiming for a release on January 22nd, 2022.
I feel like
One of a few
Never
games
mind.
centered around superpowered
Redfall.
multiplayer heroes taking on hordes of monsters, Redfall catches our attention based
do not sleep on Redfall. Redfall. I can't say it, man. I am not one to judge a book by its cover, but Redfall could be done really well.
heavily on the
Just
pedigree.
saying.
Arcane, the developer behind Dishonored, Prey, and Deathloop, certainly knows how to make games that relish in granting you superpowers, so having those skills put toward a cooperative game make it one to watch. Senua's Saga,
Yes.
Hellblade 2 continues
Never
the
played this,
harrowing
but seen
journey
it.
of the titular protagonist that started in Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Although we don't know too much about this sequel, it was revealed alongside the Xbox Series X in 2019 with a cinematic trailer, and most recently was shown off again at the Game Awards. It's one of the major upcoming games from Ninja Theory, which is now under the Xbox Game Studios umbrella. Monster
Okay.
Hunter World helped the series explode in popularity in the West.
I love
but it was
Monster Hunter
difficult
World.
to tell how Monster Hunter Rise would translate that to the Nintendo Switch
I
when it was
have-
released in March 2021. Rise turned out to be a
Did
great
not
success
play it
with
as
a
much
good
as I
blend of
wanted to,
classic
though.
elements and new ones like the Wirebug. Now it's coming to the PC on January 12th, 2022, giving PC hunters a treat right at the start of the year. That will also lay the groundwork for the Sunbreak expansion, planned for release on both platforms simultaneously sometime mid-year.
Cool.
The World War II real-time strategy series Company of Heroes is coming back after a long hiatus. This time, the game will focus on the Italian and North African theaters of war, and includes new features like a tactical pause that allows you to queue up commands, and increased destructibility. An alpha test conducted in late 2021 helped prepare tacticians for the battle to come, but we don't expect to see the full game released until late 2022.
This is a huge.
Stalker 2
really is
has been
huge.
slowly teased, at first in 2018 with just a website that had 2021 below the title,
video
and
for
most
this.
recently with a cinematic trailer during the Xbox Showcase.
I'm waiting for
Much like
this.
the rest of the series, Stalker 2 takes place in the nuclear exclusion zone, or the Zone, in irradiated Chernobyl, but supernatural elements lurk about to create a horror-like atmosphere. It's said to have one of the biggest open worlds ever in games, which sounds pretty daunting to explore
sounds,
and ambitious for the first-person
sounds
action
ambitious. Ambitious.
The Creative Assembly has built up a reputation for itself with top-tier expertise
Warhammer.
in real-time strategy. That makes its return to the Warhammer universe
Warhammer
with Total
people
War
at.
Warhammer 3 an exciting treat for fans who've been waiting for a proper sequel since 2017. As usual for the Total War franchise, you'll have to engage in careful diplomacy and all-out battle to navigate the campaign. It's coming on February 17th, 2022.
Okay.
The management sim 2 Point Hospital gets a
I might actually
bound
get
sequel
around to
next
playing
year.
that.
2 Point Campus has you managing a university campus, which means overseeing everything from housing and dormitories to organizing classes and extracurricular activities and hiring staff. The sim appears to take the same wacky approach as its previous game, which means you can make the clown college of your dreams. There are obviously many more PC games launching in 2022 and beyond, and we'll always have the latest. So to stay up to date, make sure you subscribe to GameSpot. Thanks for watching.
That was a lot. That was a lot. So let's go through the games now, or let's at least try. Oh, okay, they have them here. So I'll use this timestamp list to basically just talk about the games real quickly if you want to stay for kind of that. I like their little list put together, 33, unique number. But, okay, let's see. So, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Not particularly sure that is going to be my game, but I think it's going to be, of course, a lot of hype. It honestly reminds me kind of like where is it at on this list? Well, before I'm gonna use I'll come back to this. I'll have the link saved. I was trying to find Gotham Knights. Okay, so I guess it just happened when I was supposed to look at it. But Gotham Knights, this kind of reminds me of Gotham Knights. These are two just like one of those games where it's like, I don't know. I am definitely hyped for Gotham Knights though. I was literally just talking about this last night with my friend. So yeah. Now, Ghostwire Tokyo. That looks cool. I don't think I checked this out on my channel. Good thing I have my channel page open right here because I'm going to check if I've done a video to it. No, I haven't. So I'm going to check that out after this. Overwatch 2, meh. Saints Row. I have multiple videos on Saints Row and talking about it. I think in one, I just did a regular just overall talking about Saints Row video. Dying Light 2. I feel like I have mixed feelings about this. I feel like some of these games that are coming out for 2022, and it's like a safe thing to expect anyways, are not going to meet up to the hype. I feel like Dying Light 2, of course, if they're, I think I said in my videos that if the game is following, like if the game creators are following a formula of if it's not broke, don't fix it, their game will come out better regardless, just in terms of a more like a newer updated game, which in that case Dying Light will probably be good. There will be like everything that they've been saying, the smoother mechanics, the parkour, the combat, making it feel more fluid and all that and yada yada, all the good stuff. Then it'll be a better game. But I'm not too sure this choice system and like the consequence of the world and things going on, I'm not too sure if I really buy how I don't know how unique. I don't know. I'm trying to say it in a way that like I can try to. It's like I'm trying to make someone who's not watching this video already understand. I don't know how I even worded that. It's like I'm trying to. I don't know. See, this is why I just go with the flow. Not try to do this. Try to put too much crazy thought into it. But just the whole point with Dying Light 2 is I just hope that it lives up to the hype. But if it doesn't, it's not really going to affect me. But I know, I don't know. I just feel like it's getting a little bit of hype. And I'm not sure if all the hype is like let's just see. Now, the Prince of Persia remake, that's pretty cool. I actually like that. I kind of want to see how that goes down, because remakes are very coin flip. You've seen GTA. Diablo 4, meh. And I'm not like a big Diablo player, but I've played games like Diablo. The Elder Scrolls 6. Moving on. Next Mass Effect. Not too sure about that one. Lego Star Wars. Now all Lego games are fun to just flip on and play. I don't know. I'm not speaking for people who play Lego games all the time and find bad ones. Starfield. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played a lot of space related games, so I don't know. It's not that I feel a type of way about them. It never interests me, like the Star Wars games and stuff like that. I don't know why. Star Wars in general never really interests me. I don't know. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate. I want to play Baldur's Gate. I need to buy Baldur's Gate and play it. Avowed looks. I think I have a reaction on my channel to it. I can't remember, but Avowed. That little teaser, cinematic teaser. Elden Ring. Elden Ring is at a special number. Look at that, 639. Elden Ring is another one of those where I want to be hyped for it. I've covered a Vati videos video on it. I have to still do one. I've been saying I promised I would do it. I'm going to do it eventually. I need to check more, but for the most part, I'm not sure. Elden Ring is kind of like, I think it's gonna be good. I'll just go with the base. All right, let's run through these last ones so I don't have you here forever. System Shock. Oh, what was that?
One of the most revered.
This one right here seems cool. System Shock seems cool. Star Citizen, again, this is space themed, right? Yeah, I don't know about space. Now the Fable, I'm hyped for. I remember playing Fable as a kid on like old computer, and like Fable being one of those games that you can install with like one of those game service things that they had, and it was like Fable 1, 2, 3, I think. I can't remember them too much, but I remember like one of the Fables where you started and like I think you made a pact with death. I can't really remember, but Forspoken, hyped for it. Seen my videos. Forspoken, I'm hyped for. Vampire the Masquerade. I've been trying to get into like this, like genuinely on my own time. Like I got recommended a few videos from Vampire the Masquerade, and I'm like, I was joking around, talking shit about the name, just making some jokes, and then I actually ended up saying, oh, it's actually pretty cool. Now, a game that I wish was on this list that I don't know if it's, we'll see, because I got another list recommendation from IGN.
Everwild.
So we got to go check out that video. But what is the video, or what is the game called? I think, oh my gosh, I have it. I have to look through my videos. It's oh man, if I could mention it in this video. That's the one that I'm really hyped for. But this name reminded me of it. Everwild. Everwild just seems like a cute game. Don't know if I'd ever play that. Gotham Knights. Again, Suicide Squad. Scorn, I gotta watch. I've seen videos. Let me see if I did it. Let me just keep putting them in because I don't know if I watched them. No, yeah. Scorn was one of those videos that I seen, like recommended, and just never checked it out. They get lost, but Scorn looks pretty cool. But like another kind of like, no, let me not say it. Kerbal Space Program. I see these little green dudes all the time, and always see videos about people playing them, but I never check out anything space related in terms of games. So that one's gonna fall off. Wouldn't be on my list. The Lord of the Rings, Gollum, confusing. Solely focused on Gollum. Homeworld 3. Oh, which one did this look like?
Blackbird Interactive and Gearbox.
Homeworld, another one that I think I got a recommendation to do a reaction video to. And then when I watched it, I just didn't feel like it was worthy of posting. Rainbow Six Extraction. Need I say more? Redfall. Which Redfall?
One of a few games.
Yeah, Redfall. Okay. And Redfall is definitely on my radar as one of those things. But I can't judge a book by its cover, so I can't hype these up as much. Like, I want to hype most of these games, but I'm not a person who does that. Like, I can't judge. Oh, and this one's 333. Wow. Monster Hunter Rise.
Monster Hunter World helped the series explode
Monster
in
Hunter
popularity
Rise.
in the West, but
that one's on my list. Company Heroes, don't really care for war games like that. Like, in terms of when it's like more realistic and not like fantasy, could kind of care less. But Stalker 2 have videos on. I'm ready for Stalker 2. Stalker 2 is definitely one of the, and I was told to go back and play the original, so if I get time to do that, I'm definitely doing that. Or go back and, was it, because did I say, because I played it, but I can't remember what I said in my video. I may have said like I didn't play much, but regardless, I need to go back and play it anyway. Stalker was fun. Total War, love the trailers, man. I'm ready for this, and this one's coming out, so yeah. And then 2 Points Gambits, which is the little college game, which I think is a cute little game. But out of management games, I don't know if I would play this. But yeah, that's it for me, and I hope you enjoyed. Much love and light. I will see you in the next one.